My favorite pick from the lottery was VJ Edgecombe to the Philadelphia 76ers at third overall. The 6'5" guard from Baylor was my number 3 ranked prospect on the big board, and along with Dylan Harper was a cut above every prospect in the class, not named Cooper Flagg. While on paper the fit may seem a bit clunky due to his position and the roster the Sixers currently have, I believe this was the right pick to make because VJ has a profile that makes him valuable both short and long term. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'm notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball, and if you enjoy basketball, I really think you're going to enjoy my content, and doing those things are the best way to let YouTube, but more importantly myself, know that you enjoy the content, so I can make more of it in the future. But let's talk about VJ Edgecombe. And the place to start with VJ is his athleticism. VJ was the best athlete in this draft, and I don't really think it was close. He's one of the best pure athletes I've evaluated since I started this in 2016. He is elite in terms of his vertical explosiveness and has incredible vertical range as well. While I wouldn't say it's on the level of the Thompson twins, who I believe are the best vertical athletes in the league right now and among the best vertical athletes ever, it is close to that. And for somebody that is smaller than them to have vertical explosiveness and range like that is very impressive. He also has lightning quick reflexes. He's somebody that doesn't struggle to move laterally. He's extremely fluid in that regard. He has elite speed and quickness as well. He checks off every box that you look for athletically in a player at his position, and doesn't just pass it by being above average, he passes it by being elite. And where that stands out the most in his athleticism and how he applies it to his game is his defense. He is one of the best defensive players in this draft. In my opinion, he's one of the best defensive guard prospects we've seen in a very long time. In terms of guys I've evaluated, he's the best one-and-done guard defensive prospect I've seen, and he has great instincts off the ball. He is engaged on the ball. He plays both facets of that game on defense to a very good level. He's somebody that has a great motor. You don't have to worry about his effort. Covers a ton of ground. Plays passing lanes. Elite guard shot blocker. I think he's somebody that can be a 1+ block per game player at the NBA level. He isn't perfect. There are times he gets out of position, overplays things. He's somebody that I feel like can let the emotions get the best of him at times. But those are things that are fixable with more time and reps, and I'd rather have a player that has the problem of playing too hard than not playing hard enough. It's easier to reel someone in than it is to rev them up on defense. But he's not just a defensive player. He does have offensive strengths as well. He's a really good connecting playmaker. He makes good reads in the half court and transition. I wouldn't say he's a primary point guard. We'll talk about why when I talk about some of the improvement areas he has in his game, but I really like his ability to make passes. He's not a black hole. He doesn't stall the offense, and it was evident this year. He wasn't in the most ideal situation at Baylor this season, and not in terms of them being a good team, but more in the sense of it's college, the system is different, and being able to see what he was able to do despite that in terms of getting to the rim, being a transition threat, it was impressive. He's also a pretty good cutter, somebody that can work off the ball, given the players the Sixers have. Having somebody that can be a cutter and have good feel off the ball as a shooter, I think that's very valuable. He's a pretty good catch and shoot player in my opinion, and somebody that can attack closeouts because of how athletic he is. I've said it many times throughout the year. I think in terms of what he can be offensively, he will look better in the NBA than he did in college just because of the spacing. So you already look at him and see what he can do on offense. And that's enough to be like a role player in the NBA right now, especially for his position. But there are areas he needs to improve upon to justify taking him this high and being the guy that I think he can be long term. And it starts with his handle. The handle is loose right now. He can be a bit unfocused when it comes to dribbling the basketball. And he's also somebody that needs to improve his pull-up shooting game and off-bounce shooting ability. Really just the things that will make him a creator at the next level he needs to improve upon. Now, with that being said, I do think that he has very encouraging signs, mainly his athleticism being able to mask some of the handle deficiencies. When you look at a player this athletic, they might just be so fast, so quick, so explosive that they don't need to have Kyrie Irving or Darius Garland's handle. And I think VJ might be that type of player, similar to like a Jaylen Brown, where the handle isn't the best, but if you can get to a level where he can do 1, 2, 3 dribble pull-ups, things like that, his athleticism can make up for most of the other flaws. Now, VJ will have to get there in terms of developing his handle, but I don't think that's out of the cards because he also did show improvements with his handle as the season went along. And again, this is something I look at not in terms of can he be good, because he does a lot of things off the ball and without the basketball in his hands in general that can make him a very impactful player. But he went third overall for a reason, and I think him improving these things and the potential what he could be if he improves these things is why he was viewed so highly. It's why I viewed him highly, because it's not like he can't improve in these areas. It's not like he's Ben Simmons as a shooter where there might not be any hope that he can improve on his flaws. It's not a guarantee, but I would bet on it, and I think everything else he does in his game is worth betting on him improving his flaws. But when it comes to the Sixers, I do understand some of the concerns people had with taking him at 3, because you have Tyrese Maxey, who, when healthy and in the normal situation of Embiid and just Embiid. Paul George wasn't there last season, but Embiid being there, you saw what he could be. And you also have Jared McCain, who, before he got hurt, was by far the best rookie in the NBA. If he didn't get hurt and played the full season, he would have won Rookie of the Year unanimously. He was having one of the better shooting seasons by a rookie ever. But I think it can work, because even though Grimes is there as well, VJ is very different from those guards that the Sixers have right now. He isn't somebody that is an offense first player. He isn't somebody that demands the basketball or is going to need to score to have the major impact on the game. He's somebody that can put up like 5 points in a game and still have a massive impact. He doesn't need the basketball to be an impactful player, and because of that, he will have an avenue to get minutes right away. And as he develops behind the scenes, he can still get on the court and get those reps that are necessary to grow as an NBA player. And in terms of the long-term outlook, I think the best case scenario for him is the handle gets tighter and he improves as a pull-up shooter and creator and is a fringe all-NBA caliber player. I've seen a lot of Victor Oladipo comparisons when Victor Oladipo was in Indiana. I really like that as like the best case scenario. People forget how good Victor Oladipo was in Indiana. And another one, not in terms of like one-to-one comparison, because Jaylen Brown is a lot bigger than VJ Edgecombe is, but that similar role. I think if VJ improves to become the best version of himself, I think what we look at him will be similar to how we view Jaylen. He's not going to be your number one option because there will still be some limitations, but he can be like a 23 to 25 point per game scorer and an elite number 2 that does bring a lot of impact defensively as well. I think a realistic high-end outcome is like a fringe all-star type, someone like a Derek White. Again, not a one-to-one comparison. VJ is a superior athlete to Derek White. Derek White's a much better player in terms of the polish on offense, but somebody that puts up really good numbers like 17 to 18, maybe flirts with 20 points per game, around 4 to 5 rebounds, 4 to 5 assists, puts it up on good shooting splits, like that level of player on a contender. And then if you put him on his own team, it may be less efficient, but he could be like a 25, 26 point per game scorer if it were asked of him. But obviously that wouldn't be the best role for him. That's a really good player. I think the median outcome, we're looking at someone that's competent offensively, but brings most of their impact defensively and offensively. He plays off a star in an off-ball role. Think of like KCP in Denver, someone like a DeAnthony Melton, to a certain extent, Alex Caruso. I think that is the median outcome. And then the lower outcome, I don't think he'll be a starter, but I do think he can be a middle to back end rotation guy that gives you solid minutes, like a Chris Dunn in the ideal situation. But at the end of the day, only time will tell with how good VJ can be. I have a lot of hope in him. I believe that he can be a great player. I really think this is a good situation for him, despite what the roster looks like right now. But I'd love to hear your comments on that in the comment section below.